So, all the foliage is painted in now. I think that, well, you can see all the trunks are painted. Again, really just with raw umber and a bit of white. I've added just a smidge of ultramarine blue in spots mixed into that. But that's about it. I've put a bit, varied the color a little bit on this last sliver of land before it hits the lake, just to give it a bit of shape. I think that this landmass here is figured out pretty much. Put a little more light on this snowy bank. I may have to do more, don't know yet. The creek, you know, I'm so tempted to put maybe, you know, the odd lump of snow here and there covering a partly submerged rock. It's a nice notion, but it would not behoove me to do that. Okay, that's a fancy word. I'm not going to do that because I think that details like that will take away from the strength of the painting as a whole. So I'm going to just paint in the surface of the creek, and the only interest I'm going to really put into it is, well, what I have here. But what will help to qualify, yeah, the flatness of the creek and the fact that it is a creek, you know, sort of starting to freeze over, will be the fact that I'll keep it flat. But what I'm going to do is, you know, there's our horizon that pretty much matches here, our line here. Now we're going to start to drop it a little bit, which I've done very slightly. Then we're going to level off, and I'm slowly moving the direction of the brush strokes like this. And as you can see, by the time I get to the corner, it's twisted. So we're sort of doing this, which will help in giving some perspective when you view the creek. It's also going to subdue it. I want to keep this just supportive, just not important and not detailed. I think I'll do that. We'll play with that. And I'm not sure about this foremost mass yet. It may not need much, but I don't have to, thankfully, decide what to do until I have worked my way forward down to it. So we're going to work on the creek first, and then we're going to play with this and see where it goes. Well, I'm sorry to drag you back into this again, but yeah, I was pretty happy about painting in the trunks and the foliage and what have you, and I think I explained to you my plan for this body of water. I keep falling into the pit of making this interesting, too interesting. This is the painting, and given the shape of the canvas and given my technique and style and frankly my taste, I would need to simplify this. So I still, no matter what, have a doorway coming right down here. You know, it divides the painting, and it sits right over a creek that still divides the painting. Even though I've lightened it a little bit, it still divides the painting and comes off in this direction. That would be okay. You know, if the painting were cut off here and that were the painting, I think that would work. But it's not the painting. You know, this is it. And I'm not going to cut the painting off. It has to fail or succeed on its own merits. So I think what I'm going to do is, once again, you know, I've reintroduced this painting on so many videos over what would it be, 6 months, that I feel a bit guilty about exposing this to you all the time. But this painting has become my pet project in a way. I like it. I like a lot about it. I like the design. I really have this need that I want it to succeed, but I have to get on with other work very shortly here. So I'm going to do something that's going to I think, helped with its development over time, and that is I'm just going to put it away again, and I'll bring it up again in a few months. But for the moment, I know one thing, I feel very firmly about one thing for sure. I have to shut this down. Somehow I have to shut this down. So I'm just going to put one line in here. Now I've mixed up ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And I think what I'm going to do is, you know, we have this hole, but we have this coming down. We have this sloping down. We have the hill sloping down. You know, we have this coming down. We have this coming down. That's a little bit too much drop to the right. So I want to cut this off, but I think I'll oppose with a very strong line all this stuff. So what we'll do is we'll do this. Now I hate doing it because I've got so much work into the painting. But I think what my mistake has been really trying to fix a major problem with minor solutions, and that just doesn't work. Never has, and I'm sure it's not going to now. You know what? I don't want that. I don't even want that cutting in there like that. So I'm going to put this line on here, and okay, I'm going to go up already right there. That way, months from now, when I look at it again, I'll be reminded that this was necessary, and I'll just work with it. So everything below that line will be something else. It'll be subdued, but there won't be design here and here and here. I couldn't just take this low knoll and raise it up because it's so close to the bottom of the painting. It wasn't really going to do much. But I think what I have here, it's not going to be that strong because I'm kind of mixing, it's mixing in with the other colors I have on the painting. Anyway, alright, a little on my palette, may as well just scrub that in a little bit. My brush is dying anyway, so I don't mind if I do a bit of that. Alright. That's just a guide. It'll be broken up with a few vertical things when I paint it in the future. Alright, that's kind of, I may as well have adopted it as a pet. I could have taken, I've been working on this for so long, I could have taken it to the veterinarian and you know, given it inoculations and deworming pills and what have you, because I've had such a long relationship with this. I'm not going to do that. I think I'll just take it in, you know, into my own hands and fix it, but it'll have to wait for a while before I get to that. And that frees me from thinking about it because, as I mentioned, I've got more things to do in the immediate future. But I think that's the answer. You know, this little creek, shut it off. Just cut off these lines heading off the painting and make this a mass, which is close, more than likely fairly dark, you know, maybe in the area of this value and color, but use a very broad brush and be strong and bold about it. Anyway, it's still coming, and you know, over the next 10 years we hope to end up with a painting here, but in the meantime I have to do other things. Don't make fun of my haircut. And we're in the new year, so hope this year goes well for everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.